just wanna be with you.
All right, something new for the channel today. I want to talk about my 1992 American Eagle Fleetwood RV. It's on a Spartan chassis, 8.3 Cummins, 6-speed Allison. Thing's just been plagued overheating, and it didn't do it when I bought it, but I've just run through pretty much everything in the cooling system, everything I could think of, and I think I'm on to something due to the kindness of a stranger, but I'll get to that. So things getting hot. Sometimes on flat ground, it just kind of started intermittently. So naturally, I go through and flush the cooling system, rinse the radiator out. I took the thermostats out to see if that would help. That didn't help. Did a couple of different things to try to troubleshoot this. What I ended up finding, I bought a cheap little RPM. You put like a reflective piece of tape on the fan and a little RPM meter off Amazon, and I checked the RPM of the fan. It's supposed to be a 1-to-1 with the engine speed, and what I was finding is at 2000 RPM the engine cools down very well, but it doesn't pull good. It's out of its torque band. So if you lug the thing and it pulls good, where it makes kind of decent boost, 1600 RPM, the thing just gets hot. I have like 5 or 6 grades just to get down to one of our tracks down here, Medford, and those are 6% grades, and the thing will just be on some of those grades where it's like 8 miles long. We'll have to pull over, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, depending on the temperature outside. Just gets ridiculous. And we just sit in neutral and rev the thing up, get the fan speed up and cool it off, and then start over again. And it'll get up to like 230. So if it's generally 70 degrees ambient, the RV's 180 degrees. But if we pull, it'll get up to 210, and then it'll sit there, and I'll watch the oil temp start to climb, start to climb, start to climb. It'll get up to like 230, and then here comes the coolant temp coming up to 230, and then Gabe's got to pull over. So I was talking to a guy about this. My EGTs are only like 750, 800. And I see that my wastegate's kind of seized up. And I thought, okay, well, I need to go through the turbo. And it must be partially open. And I thought, well, that's going to make the thing a little turdy. It wicked up 1600 RPM. It only makes like 22 pounds of boost. I think it should make more than that. But I was pretty leaning towards like, that's my issue. That's what's going on. So this guy stops by my pit, and he was talking about my RV. He's talked to me before, and he was like, hey, I have really high oil temps, and he's got like a Banks kit in his. It's all turned up. It's 1200 EGTs, and he can pull the Willamette Pass here in Oregon, which is a big grade, which I have to pull over, I don't know, 10 times. It's like 5 miles of 6%, but then there's also 2 miles on each side of it, or 3 miles on each side of it that are 6% as well. So it's a big grade. There's 2 runaway ramps on there. Anyway, he comes by and he's like, yeah, my oil temp's super high. Well, his turbo's 1200 degrees. But he pulls that thing at 60 miles an hour. And I was like, how hot's your RV yet? And he's like, oh, 190. I go, how's that? And he goes, oh, I bought this bitchin' fan. I was like, what? He goes, you haven't upgraded the fan on your RV? Like, I looked at forums. I've never seen anything about it. I mean, I've literally scoured the internet looking for issues. Let me show you there. Is this. Mine is a 5-blade or 6-blade. This thing is a 9-blade. And I call this company, and they make tons of fans for different things. And I talked to them, and they're like, oh yeah, this is what you need. So the guy, this stranger, goes through his credit card record, finds out where he bought this thing, how long ago, the part number, the invoice, gives me all these phone numbers. So I called him. Without him doing any of that, I mean, I Googled, nothing came up. No fan upgrades. So I'm like, oh, well, I've got to make a video, clearly. This is a diesel pusher. This is a diesel pusher. Side-mounted radiator. Hydraulically driven. So I'm going to try to take this apart. Oh yeah, the other thing that I did, I should have started with this, is the priority valve. So These are Gabe's custom priority valves. So the priority valve, it handles the steering and the fan. And I thought, man, it's leaking a little bit. But the priority valve is obsolete. So I had to make it sends oil to the steering, which is the priority circuit, and the secondary is the fan. And as the thing wears, it'll send more fluid to the steering. So it's got a flow control and a pressure regulator valve in it. So I just made my own, bolted it to this piece of metal. Spent a bunch of time messing around trying to figure out the flow of everything here, but whatever. So this is my issue. Looks like this thing's starting to seep a little bit too. But there's my fan. And this is my junk radiator from 1992, but honestly, I simple green it every year. I pull the intercooler, the charge air cooler out, and it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to pull this off. Allegedly, there is a 1/2-inch bolt here and a set screw on this fan. So there's the set screw. Yeah, I'm going to take this thing off. Stand by. Alright, hopefully that's not too terrible, guys. I'm doing the best I can here. I'm not a filmographer or videographer or whatever the hell it's called. But allegedly there's a bolt in here, but I am not feeling it. Could be packed full of years worth of shit into the hub. But there's 2 Allens. So let's start there, as we can see those. This is a 92. And I've never taken this apart. I have no idea. But I'm a mechanic, so let's figure this out here. Oh, it's not the right size Allen, I can tell you that. I wonder if that thing's metric. Alright, we're back with our metric Allens here. Oh yeah, one of the things I did want to do is measure from the face of the radiator, or from the face of the fan to the radiator. And the reason that I want to do that is we have no idea how this fan's going to fit in this frame. It's going to have to be spaced out. It's going to be too close. So, I really hope these aren't stripped out, because that'll be lame. None of these sockets are fitting this thing, so it's pretty terrible. Okay, let me go fix this up, and then while I got you here, oofed. This fan is about 1/8 of an inch from this frame, and it is about 3.5 inches from the radiator. So this thing could move way in here, and I can already tell you our fan is not going to clear this frame. So it's got to move. Might have to buy some spacers. It's going to have to move towards the radiator considerably. Okay, that feels pretty good. Please don't be stripped out. Please don't strip out. Fuck. Wow. Okay, so we are not in good shape here. Get some PV blaster and start soaking this, or you start pulling this fan off. What do we do? Let's see what size bolts these are. 1/16, something like that. Most stuff falling on my face. So that hub is not coming off of there. And someday it's gonna have to come off to change that motor. Oofta. Well, let's see if I can get these fan bolts off here. I'm gonna let a little PB blaster get in there. That way I have something to drip on me. So that's what I needed in my life. Hit the radiator, which they don't make one of these, so don't want to be fucking shit up here. I'm gonna take this out and measure and compare the hubs. Ooh, tricky, tricky. Be a little exciting trying to put that in here. Okay. Here we go. There's our fans, guys. Here's what we don't know. How much room do we got? I think we have about an 1/8 of an inch from these fan blades to the metal frame that holds the pump motor. We're gonna get real technical here. About 1 5/8 inches. Ah, good. Yeah. Oh, not mint. I got excited because I thought I set this like this. Okay, so to really check that. Oh. That is 1 1 5/8 inches, it says. Oh, this is not 1 5/8 inches. This shaft is like 1 7/16 inches. So we probably need some spacers here because these fins are going to hit. Yeah, that's 1 5/8 inches. Get real technical here. I'm going to say this is 1 7/16 inches. So we need like 3/16 inch spacers. Call it a 1/4 inch. That'll be all right. And we're going to measure these bolt patterns. We're back. We went to the hardware store. I went to the hardware store. But we did it because you guys are following along with me. The only thing I didn't do was bring my calipers to measure these. So this is all we had for spacers. That's all we had. So I'm going to measure these really quick. And this is just really stupid to try to do this one-handed. So stand by. All right, so they're all really close. What we did was we bought basically identical bolts. Some nice grade 8 flange bolts. And so to let you guys know, this is American Cooling Systems. American Cooling Systems, and they're out of Michigan. Okay. Took me a little bit to figure out what all these numbers mean, but the guy that I bought my fan from said his was a 441-200-26. So 26 is the diameter. This 393, if you look up their series of fans on their website, This is a more aggressive than the 441. And a lot of them have different mounting surfaces, and then clockwise rotation, stuff like that gives you different numbers. But the 200 is for a 2-inch pilot, a 100 is a 1-inch pilot. This is, I think, a 3.5-inch bolt space, and the 1-inch pilot is like 2 3/4. So they kind of have their own numbering system, but literally they make fans for everyone. I actually bought this on eBay. There's a dude that has a bunch of surplus, and I could have saved some money buying it directly from his website because he offers free shipping from there. But on old eBay, I paid $70 to freight this thing. These fans are like $400 with freight, maybe $350 to $400 with freight from some of their dealers. I think this was $130. So this thing is going to be bitching, and it uses less horsepower to draw. So let's go get it. We got our spacers here. I'm going to take the set. These are just set collars. I'm going to take the set screw out and bolt this unit down. See ya. Okay, we're gonna zoom in here. This is at 1800 RPM, dude. Dude, that thing is nasty. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's wrap this video up. So our, is it called a extra, or I don't know, whatever. Our exit from this video. Some thoughts, feelings, concerns. I think I had the fan out in 15 minutes. I was looking at the videos really quick. 15 minutes. Took me 45 minutes to put the new fan in, and probably a half hour to go to the hardware store. So not that bad. I am a little bummed out that I had to cut so much of the fan shroud. Yeah, it is what it is. There's no way to get that fan in. It's like 3 times thicker than that other fan, than the fan that came out. So the little video I have of it just sucking, dude, this thing's gonna move some air. So I'm excited. We're gonna go camping in a week. So I'm gonna have to pull a pretty good grade. We'll know. It won't have the race trailer on it, but I'll know. I'll know if it's better or worse. And if it's worse, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Cry, probably. But I think this is gonna be the fix. And I have a new water pump. It's the only thing really I haven't changed. So it probably does need a radiator, but man, I'm gonna have to get one custom made. So I'm not really interested in doing that. If this $130 fan fixes it and saves me from a $1,500 to $2,000 radiator, $1,500 to $2,000 radiator, that's a win. So we're over here with the pores, man, trying to go fast, trying to have a piece of shit motorhome that works, that doesn't overheat, that doesn't, gets me to and from the races. We don't need no problems, man. All right. You guys take care. Follow along. Like and subscribe. I hope you guys share this. I hope 1 million people watch this. So maybe I could make money one day on a YouTube video. Sweet. See ya.